This goes out to all the single men and single women. Hi, my name is Anita and I'm with Better Love Movement. I want to issue this invitation to you to join us over on Skool. I want to give you a free 30-day trial to Singles Seeking Soulmate, where you can join us in learning all the relationship skills that you're going to need to find and keep the person of your dreams. Just email me today at info@betterlovemovement.com and I will get that invite sent out right to you. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon.
All right, I'm headed back from getting my Botox. And I went way longer than I normally would because I just been really busy. So of course she was like, it's not too bad, but I'm going to shoot your face up with a little bit more because, yeah, I noticed that you went an extra month. And I think I can do that. I actually think I can do that because I don't think my face is as bad as other 57-year-old women's faces. So I can do that. I can go an extra month or two. But anyway, but today I wanted to talk with you a little bit about managing relationship expectations. This is the number one thing that, in all honesty, it causes problems within the first year of the relationship. So the first year of the relationship, the number one thing that's going to cause all the problems is your relationship expectations. And this tends to happen in the first year of the relationship. Some people say, oh, it happens in the first year of marriage. But because people are taking longer to get married, I think people, if they get help in the dating phase or in the boyfriend-girlfriend phase, they don't have this happen in the first year of marriage. It tends to happen in the first year of a relationship. And it is where one or both of you have expectations. You have what we call, they are unspoken expectations. We all have them, right? There are things we expect men to do and things we expect women to do, okay? But here's the bad news, ladies and gentlemen. Because men and women are so different, because common sense ain't so common, you now have to use words, you have to verbalize or write down what your expectations are. You can't assume anymore. And this is what is tearing up Gen Z, young millennials, older millennials, some Gen Xers, if I'm being honest, because you all are afraid or obtuse. You don't put your expectations into words or writing verbally or in writing. You don't put those expectations out there. So you go into the relationship, you have all these expectations of the other person, these unspoken expectations. And when the person is not acting like you think they should or not doing what you think they should, now it's a problem. It cannot be real. A lot of you all think the other person is the problem, when the reality is the problem is you. You're the problem. You're not verbalizing or writing down for the other person what your expectations are. That is how we see if the other person can meet them. So you say dumb things like, he should just know. He should just know. He's a grown man. He should know how to act in a relationship. He should know how to treat a woman. He should just know. No, not in 2025. I hate to break it to you, because you all want to redefine what masculinity is. You want to redefine what femininity is. So in 2025, nope, don't work like that no more. It used to in my day. In my day, we was fine. In my day, things worked just fine. Okay, everybody knew what their role was, depending on what they had in their pants or their panties. Everybody knew what their expectation was. But today, in 2025, when y'all can't even tell me what a woman is, baby, you can't tell me what a woman is. And now you talking about he should just know. I shouldn't have to ask. That's tired and played out. And a lot of this stuff you brought on yourself because you want to have 200 genders. You want to have 500 pronouns. You want to flip the script, but then get all traditional. Then get all traditional in the relationship. That don't make no sense. Okay? It don't make no sense. But back in my day when there was only two genders, a man and a woman, a he and a she, a him and a her, we knew what time it was. Men knew what the expectation was. Women knew what the expectation was. And majority of women met it. The majority of men met it. You had some outliers of people that were like, no, I'm not doing that, and the men, I'm not doing that. Okay. But now in 2025, because y'all want to flip the script, you want to do something different. You can't do that no more. So this is what I recommend. Once exclusivity and commitment is discussed, so that's the first thing. Y'all just, y'all innards tingle, your nether regions tingle, and you spend a bunch of time together, and you assume you're in a relationship. You assume that this is your person. You assume your boyfriend and girlfriend. Let me see if this sandwich shop is still open. Something tells me it isn't, because I haven't been here in so long. But you make all these assumptions, right? It is not. It is gone. You make all these assumptions, and okay, well, now we got to use words, which you really should have always been doing, but you use words. Hey, I'm not seeing anyone else. I mean, I'm just curious to know, are you seeing anyone else? Because I really would like for us to just get to know each other. And what would be the purpose of us getting to know each other? I want you to actually say that too. What is the purpose of you all coming together and getting to know each other? Right? I actually want you to say that with words instead of, let's just see where it goes and all this other foolishness. Say, what is the purpose of you all exclusively dating? Actually say that with words, right? The other person agrees. Okay, yeah, I just want to see you too. Sure, that sounds like a good idea. Then you're going to have these 3 conversations, okay? You're going to have conversations with words. I prefer they not be via text. I prefer they be on the phone. I prefer they be over FaceTime or Zoom. I prefer that they be in person. But you have conversations about your expectations. And you ask the person, what are their expectations? So what does being in an exclusive committed relationship with a woman, with a man, what are your expectations of that person? What does that look like to you? How often would we see each other? How often would we communicate? What is the best form of communication? Like, all of this stuff has to be spoken on at some point. Because look, I'm not a huge texter. I'll leave voice notes, but I like people to call me on the phone. I don't have a problem with you randomly calling me on the phone. Some people do. They want to schedule a phone call. They want to schedule a FaceTime. I don't mind you just FaceTiming me. I don't mind you just calling me, right? That's not a thing for me, but some people don't like that. But you need to use words. I don't understand what y'all don't understand about using words to express and explain, this is what works for me, this is what doesn't, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. Like, y'all make relationships harder than they have to be. It's like giving a person a Rubik's Cube. This what the average person does in relationships. Y'all mess up the Rubik's Cube, you give it to the other person and expect them to figure it out. That's what emotionally immature people do. Emotionally immature people do just that. Here's what emotionally mature people do. We use words. We say, hey, my ideal form of communicating is just call me over the phone, randomly FaceTime me, or schedule a FaceTime. We could Zoom. We could, see each other. You just say what it is. Or if you do like texting, yeah, I'm big on texting. And then you need to see if your communication style is compatible. Because if somebody said to me, yeah, most of my communication is through text, I would pass. Like, I'm not trying to change you. I'm not trying to make you into, something you're not, but that doesn't work for me. Okay? I like talking on the phone. I have a Bluetooth for such an occasion as this. Okay? That's why I love the invention of the Bluetooth. Because I can be making dinner on the phone. I could be in my garden on the phone. I can be walking my dog on the phone. Call me on the phone. Okay? But you have got to say with words what your expectations are. Here's the second thing y'all say. Well, if I do all that, that's giving them the blueprint. That's telling them, okay, if you want an exclusive and committed relationship, that's kind of what you should do. Like, if you want to actually get your needs met, shouldn't people know what your needs are? Like, how does that work? Again, you're giving the person the messed up Rubik's Cube and having them try to figure it out, and you getting frustrated when it's taking too long. That don't make no sense. Okay? Give them the blueprint because you want to see what they do with it. And guess what? People who care about you, for the most part, they will consistently meet your needs. People who care about you, people who love you and care about you, they will consistently meet those needs. Now, I'm going to give you this caveat. You ready? Some people will meet the needs early on and then drop off. And then you have to just call that out. Wow, you were doing such a great job at, calling me on the phone, and now all of a sudden I'm getting all of these texts. See, you just call it out. If it doesn't change, that person, doesn't want to make that adjustment. But yeah, like, you are going to tell people what your wants and needs are. You're going to tell them what your don't wants are. Again, if they're not doing the thing you don't want and then all of a sudden they're doing it, okay, now we're going to call that out. Hey, I've noticed you doing this and that more when, that wasn't happening before. What's that about? And then if they keep doing the thing you don't want, then you go about your business, right? It's like people pretending not to be smokers. You put in your profile non-smokers, they match with you. Oh yeah, I'm giving it up. I'm not smoking. I've recently given up smoking, but then you catch them smelling like smoke. You catch them smoking like, hey, this doesn't work for me. If that behavior continues, go about your business. It really is that simple. All right, hold on a second. I saw a badge being purchased. Garland Stillwell, thank you for buying a badge. I appreciate you. And then I saw evolving_Lulu74. Good afternoon, all. How much did I miss? Not much. Miss_Tiffany01. A lot of people don't know how to date or what is expected of them. She also said they don't know what a good girlfriend wife looks like exactly, for sure, or boyfriend husband looks like for a man. Many men don't either. Can't be a good husband if you're not a good boyfriend, and the same for women. I actually don't believe in being a boyfriend or a girlfriend, but that's just me. That's just me. I'm done with the casual dating. I'm done. And I think a lot of us need to be. I think the casual dating and being boyfriend and girlfriend, I think that's actually what is destroying the community. That's destroying y'all excuse my voice, destroying the community, destroying the environment. It's causing a lot of relationship trauma. I think we either need to, date for something real or go about our business. So right now I'm going about my business because people ask me all the time, why don't you have a man? Because I'm too old to be a girlfriend, right? I would date a man with the hopes of it becoming something real, something serious, something that is highly committed, which is marriage, or I'd rather just go about my business. And if I'm being honest, because so many men are making videos right now about how they wouldn't marry, I'm like, well, men aren't marrying. That would be my reason for not having a man. If another man that I go on a date with asks me, yeah, why are you single? Because men are not marrying. Well, what does that have to do with it? That's the only relationship that I'm willing to be in. The only relationship I'm willing to be in is with someone I'm engaged to or married to. And since men are not marrying, yeah, that's why I don't have a man. See, that would be my explanation. I don't do the boyfriend girlfriend thing anymore. But I understand, Miss Tiffany, a lot of people do. A lot of people do. And they see it as a pretty high form of commitment. In 2025, it is, because people don't even want to do that. People don't even want to be boyfriend and girlfriend right now, much less marriage. Marriage is completely off the table. Boyfriend and girlfriend, maybe. Like, yeah, people don't even want to do that. It's wild. It's wild. It's wild. So you have to express your expectations of the other person, right? I do. I let a man know once or twice a week. I'd like for us to see each other, to get to know each other better. I'm not a big fan of texting. You can send me a voice note. I'll send you some voice notes, but I'd rather you just call me on the phone. I have a Bluetooth. You can FaceTime me. I let him know what time I'm on. I just let him know what time I'm on. And he gets to decide if that's something he can do consistently. He gets to decide if that works for him. And then I ask him. So it ain't just about me. This is another thing. Ladies, you think the relationship is all about you. You think relationships exist to meet your needs because you're the more relational person than the man. The second part is true. But the first part is there is still another human being in the relationship. And you can't treat them like your little dog, right? Like these emotional support animals y'all have. Well, his only job is to be here for me. His only job is to do something for me and be here for me, pay my bills, go on all these trips or go to these weddings with me. No, he has needs too. So I immediately say, what are your needs? What are your expectations in the relationship? See? Because I need to know, can I meet them? But y'all don't even get that far because you don't even tell the man what your expectations are. And you certainly don't ask him what his are. What? Why is he? It's crazy. It's crazy that you all honestly think you're going to be in a relationship with a whole nother human being and you don't give a darn about what their needs are, what they want. That's wild to me. And that's why a lot of you all struggle, because you don't take into account this other person. And this is why connection is so important. This is why love is so important. Again, the only reason why I'm here is to find love and marriage. Period. That's it. Love and marriage. Now I'm going to say this, I expect to have sex at some point, but the main things I'm here for is love and marriage. In that order. Love, marriage, sex. That's the order I'm looking in which to fulfill. Okay? I'm not here for your money. I'm not here for you to make my ego feel good. I'm not here for you to be my best friend. That's what got us all jacked up. Y'all really, your priorities are totally screwed up. Because today's woman, she want money, okay? She want attention. She want validation, right? Love ain't nowhere in there. How she can serve ain't nowhere in there. How she can do something for you, that ain't nowhere in there. And let's be fair, men too. Men, the first thing they want is some sex. That's why 90% of men are not going to mess with me. Because they're like, I want some sex, okay? I want some home cooking, right? I want some home cooking because I need to know how to cook. I want some sex. I want some laughs and some good times, And they have a list of things that they want. Love ain't nowhere in there. Marriage ain't nowhere in there. So yeah, I can't mess with you. Like I don't mess with you like that. Because your priorities are all out of order. Okay, let me see. We got Fade Away Talks with Tim. Honestly, it's so much temptation out here. People don't want the commitment. It's damn near hard to stay faithful for a lot of people. Agree. I like the way you think. You keeping it all the way real always. Everybody here know that. When you have a lot of Miss_Tiffany01, when you have a lot of standards, there isn't much temptation or options. I agree. Like I don't feel tempted. I don't feel tempted. In the past, when I was in boyfriend, girlfriend relationships, I never felt tempted. Because like I said, people are nasty, right? If I'm being 100% honest, if I'm keeping 100% real, I don't cheat on my man. I've never cheated on any man I've ever been with because I don't enjoy swapping bodily fluids. That's an OCD part of me that I just think is nasty, right? I have to be in love with you. I have to love you. I have to care about you to even have sex with you. Because the thought of our bodily fluids swapping, the swapping saliva, swapping seminal fluids and vaginal fluids and all, that's nasty. So that right there means I got to love you. Like I got to feel a way about you because I don't do it with just anybody. I don't just meet a strange man and lay down with him and y'all keep talking about condoms and all. I don't care. I don't care. If our mouths touch each other, I got to feel a way about you because it's nasty. Okay? So I'm not even going to act all high and mighty. I'm not even going to act all Christian and moral. I don't like the swapping of bodily fluids. It's gross. It's nasty to me. That is the number one reason why it's easy for me to be faithful. It's hard enough for me to sleep with my man, right? So once I determine I love you and I'm going to be with you, I'm going to freak it up for you. I'm going to give you everything. But I've moved past that other thing in my mind because of love, because of how I feel about you. Like, you know what? This is my man. I'm just going to, slob all over him and let him slob all over me and all the things, right? That's fine. That's going to be perfectly fine. But not no strange man. Gross. Like, ugh. And y'all out here having casual sex, y'all nasty. Okay, Fade Away Talks with Tim says, I think relationships don't last because they don't put all cards on the table and say how they moving. So when things pop up later, that's when things crash. Agree, but again, this is a modern day thing. Everybody is trying to play everybody. Nobody wants to be real. Nobody wants to be honest. Yeah. Miss Tiffany says, I take his feelings into account, but he has to be a man of his word. Can't be flaky or inconsistent. Agreed. Don't forget she want to be spoiled early on. This is the thing, though. I keep telling men, do what you can live with. Why do y'all struggle with that so bad? Like, do what you can live with. I don't give a man nothing that I can't provide from now until death. Right? That's why a lot of men are surprised when they find out, like when they meet me and know me for real, they're like, wow, Anita's actually pretty introverted. Anita's actually pretty quiet. Anita's actually pretty, very much introverted. I can spend a long time without saying words and, I'm very quiet. I like to observe rooms. I like to see what people are on. I like to feel energy before I go to talking. People are surprised by that. They think I'm the most extroverted, loudest, Anita's going to be out here and fun and turned up all the time. Nope. Not even. Not even. When you meet me, I'm going to be who I really am. And that's what you're going to get from now until one of us die. You'll see pockets of my persona. You'll get my thoughts and opinions if you ask. But overall, I'm not out here turning up. That's what's wild. So many men say, well, you're masculine and the way you talk and how you be coming across in your videos, baby, that's literally 5% of my personality. That's 5% of who I am as a woman. Think about it. I release 3 videos a week. Let's think about it. I release 3 videos a week. That's maybe an hour and a half. And you think that's my entire personality? There are 168 hours in the week and you get to see 90 minutes of them. That don't make no sense. Like, y'all don't know how to critically think. Y'all don't know how to critically think. Y'all really think, okay, so this 90 minutes that I'm watching on YouTube, this is all of who Anita is. It ain't. It ain't. My children get a different Anita. My man get a different Anita. My friends, my mama, my daddy, like, y'all really do think what y'all see is what you gonna get. No, you don't know me. I keep telling y'all this. You don't know me. Just because you watch these videos, y'all think y'all know me. You don't know me. And that's not to say I'm out here doing anything thoughtish or crazy or no, I'm not. Like I said, it's actually the opposite. I am quieter than my persona. I am a quieter, grossed out version of my persona. Like I don't do bodily fluids. I don't drink after people. I don't even drink after people, y'all. So nah, this ain't a Cheyenne Bryant, thing like, oh, I'm coming off as I'm so mild mannered and mild tempered and then I'm some sort of to hoe on the side. No, quite the opposite. Quite the opposite. If you getting whole vibes from me, you're going to be disappointed. You're going to be really disappointed because that ain't nowhere in my countenance as a person. I don't like swapping bodily fluids like that. It's gross. I'm not going to run up on no man I don't know and kiss him in his mouth. Yuck. That's nasty. Miss underscore Tiffany said, I had a guy who wanted me to cook but didn't want to buy groceries. Oh, Fade Away Talks with Tim. I was just about to say, I can tell you sound very observant. Yeah. And I'm very quiet. That's what shocks people. I don't have a lot to say when you spend a lot of time with me. And they're just like, yeah, this is the opposite of what I seem. Like, she's quiet, she's observant, she just like watches people, watches rooms, right? And I take note of who to interact with, how to interact with them. Yeah, I don't run up on everybody. I'm definitely not giving my body to everybody because, like I said, and it's so funny because, look, I got into it with this guy the other day where he was like, oh, you're doing the whole I'm abstaining until marriage and you've had sex and you've had kids and, oh, isn't that so typical? I said, sweetheart, this is what I've always done, right? For the most part, I've had some relationships where I was not married, but I was in a committed relationship. I didn't have sex with them until we were committed. Like until that man asked to be my man, until he said, hey, I want you to be my woman, I want to be your man, I didn't have sex with him. This is how I've been doing it. So what is the surprise? Like, y'all don't know that, but I can give you the last 5 exes' phone numbers that I got, and they going to tell you, nah, Anita ain't sleep with me on the first date, second date, third date, 10th date. Like, until I said, we going to be together, I'm your man, you my woman, that's when Anita, and even then, she didn't bust it wide open. It was still very tentative, like, let me see how I feel about you. Let me see if I love you. Because Anita's funny about bodily fluids. Like, she don't do that. So this whole idea of, it's like, I don't know. I don't even know what should I equate it to? Y'all feel like, okay, that once it's used, like it has no value, right? And yet y'all out here buying used cars every day. I think that's interesting. You're out here buying used vehicles. Most of the vehicles I buy are actually new vehicles. I think I've had one used vehicle my whole life. Can I be honest? I don't buy used vehicles. I buy new vehicles. Like I'm trying to trade in this vehicle that I bought brand new for another upgraded brand new Santa Fe. I'm trying to get the brand new Santa Fe. I don't buy used vehicles like talking about, but I find it interesting that most men do. Most men buy used vehicles, and it's like, oh, because it's used, it has no value. What? Most of y'all are living in houses that other people have lived in. So because somebody else lived in it, it's not brand new to you. It don't have no value. Y'all sound dumb. That's dumb to me. Okay. Hold on a second. He said, I love her already. Thank you. She is smart and cool. Thank you so much. Smart and cool, beautiful lady. I appreciate you. Always knew the room you're in. I agree. Same. I'm not the small talker. Yeah, I can't do it, y'all. Like, I can't do it. I listen. And that's why people are drawn to me. I think people are drawn to me because I listen. I'm a good listener. I know how to validate people. I know how to ask questions. People love that. People love to talk about themselves. They love it when you ask questions. They love when you validate them. That's what I have learned. That's a skill that I've honed in all these years. That's what actually makes me a good therapist, is I know how to hold space for people. I know how to empathize with them. So he said, if all women waited until commitment, all the dating coaches would be out of work. It would fix all of their problems mostly. I agree. But that's always been my way. And now, guess what? I had a white dating coach. He told me the other day, well, it's changed. People don't do that anymore. You're not going to get in any more relationships. I was like, okay. Again, what do y'all want me to say? Like, can I be honest? What do you want me to say? Like, this is a hill I'm prepared to die on. So I'm okay. Do you understand that? And there might be other women out here that are okay too. That is a standard that I have set for myself, right? And I'm okay if no one can meet it. If no man on earth can meet that standard, I'm okay. That's it. That's it. Men don't have a problem with used. They have a problem with used things at new prices. Yeah, I'm not gonna charge you the new price. I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. But I'm not gonna charge you the new price. I'm gonna charge you the used price, right? I have value, and I'm not gonna say I share the same value to a man as a virgin woman, or a woman who's never been married, or a woman who's 21, a woman who's never had children. I'm going to give you a discount. Like, I actually agree with that. Real Dope Daddy, you and I are on the same page. You're going to get a discount. Okay. You are going to get a discount. You're going to get a discount on a home, a car, or whatever else it is that's used. But it does have value. Let's not act like it doesn't have value. It does. He said, but they can't look at the lightly used woman like the ones who were beat into the ground. For sure. And I am certainly not beat into the ground. I have been married to a man. That man has committed to me. He has taken care of me. He has given me 3 children. I can't erase that history. I've been in 3 other relationships. Again, I can't erase that history. I would consider myself to be lightly used. Okay? So it's not like I've had 25 owners, right? That's different. I agree with that. If a car has had 25 owners, 30 owners, 100 owners, heck no. Heck no. Heck no. Because all of those different people driving that car and treating that car a different way? No, I agree with the man. No. If this car had 100 owners, yeah, that's a problem. But no, I guess I will be single until the Lord returns, says Smooth Silk V. Yeah, because that's my standard. I'm sorry. I am not giving you sex by the first date. That's just not going to happen. And I can tell a man that on the first date and send him off, off running away. I don't. I just attempt to get to know him because I think that's what adult people do. And y'all are out here talking about sex on the first date. And I'm asking myself, why? I don't even know you. I don't even like you. Like, why would I start talking about sex when I don't even know if I want to share the rest of this meal with you? That's crazy to me. Because understand this. Sex is sacred. That is a sacred spiritual act. That is an act where 2 people play God. You play God when you have sex. If a man and a woman come together, they have the ability to create another human. And you out here giving it away on the first, second, and third date? That's insane to me. Okay, Garland Stillwell says, if a couple can't get stuck in traffic for a couple of hours without one person losing it, they need to reevaluate their situation. Science is a superpower. I love silence. I love it. Now, I've dated a man who couldn't stand it, and it darn near drove him up the wall. Me being able to read or be in a room and be quiet, that drove him up the wall. He couldn't watch a show without talking, a movie without talking. Like, it just drove him up a wall, and I just refuse. I refuse to, be engaged all the time. Like, what? That to me is saying something about your relationship with yourself. If you can't be silent at points in your life, if you can't be by yourself, like, let's go here. People who go from relationship to relationship to relationship to dating to dating to dating to dating, your relationship with you sucks. Like, let's just say that out loud. You suck. And your relationship with yourself sucks. You can't be uncomfortable. You can't be alone. You can't be lonely. You can't feel your feelings. You're not as fun as you think you are. You're not as great as you think you are. Because you got to have a buffer, which is some other person, all the time. Okay, there you go. I said it. Tracy Lizt. I am perfectly fine if no one cannot meet the standards I set. I will never settle for less than my dream. Okay. She said, amen, Smooth Silk V. Thank you for saying bodily fluids are gross, because they are. Definitely don't know and want to know you until I know you. Yeah, I can't do it, y'all. I gotta say, and I used to think it was something weird about me. I was like, then I'm weird. I remember when I was young in my 20s, and girls was like, look, we would go out And we would go to bars or clubs and they would talk to a guy for 30 minutes and be kissing him in their mouth. I was like, oh. They gave me the willies. It gave me the willies. I was like, gross. That man could have had his mouth on a woman's vagina an hour ago. Oh, y'all, just the thought of it. The thought of it. Okay? And she could have had her mouth on a man's penis an hour ago. Yuck. Y'all nasty. Y'all nasty. Y'all dropping gems in here. Yeah, I can't do it, y'all. I'm just too squeamish. And I got to love you. I'm just gonna be honest. The love, it is the oil that soothes all of the friction. It is the oil that soothes all the squeakiness, all the stuff. Love. Love will make me overlook a man whose thing ain't but so big, or he may not have all the sexual prowess in the world, but when you love him, and it will overlook a lot. And the way so love and the way this person treats you, that should be the priority, and it's not. Y'all keep talking about, well, I can't wait for sex because how do I know it's good? How do I know what I'm getting? Because you love the person. You love them. You care about them. You care enough to practice and to show them what it is you want, you need, you like. That's what love will do, right? But y'all don't care about love. You don't care about how you're treated. The man could treat you like gold, but if he ain't got no 9-inch schlong, if he don't know how to throw it, and he don't eat the cat and all these other requirements y'all have, oh no, throw him back. You'd rather have toxic Tyrone, who treats you like dog crap on the bottom of his shoe. But girl, he can throw it. He can slang it, girl. For what? An hour out of 24 hours? So an hour a day, you're getting your back blown out. The other 23 hours, he treating you like crap. That don't make sense. But if I'm being honest, that's a lot of y'all don't make sense. No, I'm working with this man. This man treat me good for 23 hours. We gonna work that hour. I'm gonna work that hour with that man. I'm gonna do what I need to do. I'm going to show him what he need to do. I'm going to show him where he need to go and how he need to do it for an hour. Because y'all are carnal and foolish. You care about all the wrong things. All of y'all priorities is messed up. And it got to be this big, and he got to do this with it and that with it. And then the men have this requirement. Not realizing that we can put a hole in a watermelon and put your pee-pee in it, and you will get off. And you have requirements for the women? Really? Because the hole in the watermelon can get your pee-pee off. So I'm completely confused as to what it is you think that she should be able to do. It don't take nothing to get your pee-pee off. So stop it. Real Dough Daddy says, you find the 40-plus-year-old childless, never married women to be reasonable? Or do you think fear is controlling them, waiting for perfect? Yeah, I've always said that. I've always said that. These people are afraid to try. The one thing, can I be real with y'all? The one thing that I'm most proud of in my marriage is that I tried. I tried. I put myself out there. I tried to love a person. I tried to be the best woman I could to him, and I fell short. Y'all know my story. I fell short. I wasn't perfect in my marriage. I ain't cheated in my marriage, so don't go there. But I wasn't perfect in my marriage, but I tried. I tried to be a good wife. I tried to be a good mother, right? I actually did the thing. That's my issue with a lot of women. They won't try. That's my issue with a lot of men. Y'all won't try. You won't try the thing and quote unquote fail. See, that's your fear. The fear of failure, of it not working out. But you know what? I had a life. I still have a life. I have my 3 children. So I'm glad that I tried. But there are women out here who will never know because they'll never try. I understand vetting is extremely important, but still vetting in your 40s seems like fear has been the issue. Agreed. And the same for men. Men, they're running from responsibility. They're running because they're afraid. But you have to try. You have to try. That's all of us, all of our story. All of us who've been married and divorced, we tried. We tried. There's honor in that. It's Mimi's baby, Memesi's baby. Oof, not perfect by any means, but some people not ready to hear that message of just being still. Yeah, no. Some people, like I said, they're not that great. I realize that. I've had some men that I've dated, not been in a relationship with, but just dated them. And when the dating was over, they were with someone the week after. And that's when I realized they were not good people. I was like, wow, this person's not that great. Like, everything I saw in them, I projected onto them. Like I woke up to that. Like I projected this guy being great, and now I can see he's really not that great. That's why he needs other people. He needs to jump around to all these different women because he's just not a great guy on his own. Yeah. Or that it's okay to be introverted. Recently had someone say, what's wrong with you when explaining introvertedness? Yeah, no, we win. Introverts win all day, every day, because we don't rely on other people to be dope. Like I'm just dope, right? I'm just dope all on my own. I don't need other people. I don't need their validation. I don't need their attention. I don't need to take pictures of my backside to the camera. I don't need any of that. Like all of that's internal. Okay. So she said, come on, sis. Relationships aren't ready-made. Relationships are a process. You figure stuff out over time. You commit to working things out because life is tough and not fair, period. I've already created an entire video where I said the best relationships are created. They're not found. So yes, relationships are co-created. It takes two people to make fantastic relationships. She said, work that hour. That's what I'll be doing. Because if he doing great in the other 23, I'm going to give him grace for the 24th. But y'all don't want to do that. You want him to come with that 1 hour a day, just blowing your back out, blowing your mind, doing all this stuff. Forget the fact that he treats you like crap the other 23 hours. So, nah, I'm going to work with you, baby. that 1 hour that we spend, that 30 minutes or whatever it is, I'm going to work with you. It's going to be the best 30 minutes of your life. Like, we going to work together. But the women out here today, they don't care about how they treat it, which is wild. It's wild to me. I'm like, you're not putting any priority on how the man treats you. It's his money. It's his dang-a-lang. It's his swag or his charisma and his charm. Forget the fact that he lack character. Forget the fact that he lack integrity. Forget the fact that he ain't gonna make nobody a good father or a good husband. He fun though. He fun and he plan these dates and he do this and that. Man, please. I always tried to fit in when I was younger and go to parties, but was extremely uncomfortable. Got older and realized it's okay. It's just not for me, and that's fine. Same. I still go to parties. I still go to stuff, but I be quiet. I be quiet. I be observing. I be listening. I be, oh, really? And what did you think about that? Like, that's what I be doing. And like I said, people leave the exchange like, wow, Anita's so dope. Wow, Anita's this, Anita's that. Like, I don't really be saying nothing. I really don't. And people always leave those exchanges with a good impression of me. That's what I figured out in adulthood. That for the most part, most people say that I'm cool. Say that, they have nothing but good things to say about me. That's what I figured out. So, yeah. But y'all, we got to manage your expectations. And the way to do that is you have to tell people. You have to verbalize what it is you want, what it is you don't want, and what it is you need. And then after you verbalize, you have to observe. Is the person coachable? Is the person teachable? That's the number one thing that I look for. Like, hey, I'm going to express this and I'm going to see what the person does with it. If they do nothing, that's the answer. And y'all keep trying to make them. You keep trying to make them be something they're not. Stop. And ladies, let me say this to the ladies and then I got to go because I got to make something to eat before my next appointment. Ladies, please choose men you actually want. Like, come on. Y'all keep choosing these projects. You keep choosing these dudes based on their potential, based on what they could be, just choose somebody you want. Okay? Unless you're in your 20s, that's the only time. And even then, you need to vet for the possibility of him fulfilling the potential. Maybe if you're in your early 20s. But 20 All right, I'm sorry. I'm getting ready to get off. But choose somebody you want. Okay, that's it. That's the message. Y'all in y'all 30s and 40s and 50s working with somebody in a way that you really shouldn't be working with. They're pretty much who they gonna be. And if it don't fit you, just walk away. Find somebody else. That's all. That's all. It's not hard. Men who smoke, men who don't work out, men who are not believers, men who are not kind, men who are not patient. But no, I'm good. You be over there being you, and hopefully you'll find someone that wants that. I don't want that. Wayne Dyer, in his book, I Can See Clearly Now, quotes the French philosopher Blaise Pascal, who said, all man's troubles derive from not being able to sit quietly in a room alone. I agree with that. And I love Wayne Dyer. Wayne Dyer, for years prior to his death, was one of my mentors. Dr. Wayne Dyer was one of my mentors. I actually went to Maui to meet him. He was one of my mentors. So, yeah, you don't like yourself. You're not that great. I always tell people that. If you can't be alone, if you got to go from relationship to relationship to relationship, you're not great. You're not a good person. When I find out people do these back-to-back layering of relationships, I'm good. You're not that great of a person. So, all right, y'all, the sun is coming in on my phone, so I got to go. All right, have a great rest of your day. Remember, hold on, let me put this up here while I say this last thing. There we go. You can get 30 days free in the private community over on Skool. All you have to do is email me at info@betterlovemovement.com. Skool will send you an email invite. When you get it, and you got to look in their junk or spam folder because that's probably where it's going to come. You click the link, you go in, you put your email, you put a password, and bam, there you go. You have access to Skool. We meet every Monday evening at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay? And there is where you're going to find the course, Relationship Skills 101. You're going to use that if you're single. You're going to use that if you're already in a relationship or married. It deals with all of your relationships, not just your romantic relationships. These are skills that you need for all your relationships, okay? Please consider liking this video. Consider becoming a member of the channel or subscribing to the channel. I appreciate you all for doing that. If you join the channel as a third tier member, you get access to Skool for free forever. Okay? So third tier, you're going to pick the highest tier of membership to my channel, and then you're going to email me and you are in Skool forever. You have a free membership to Skool. All right? She said, love catching your lives. Thanks and have a good one. Be safe. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you. Have a great day. I appreciate you all for the support. And as always, stay open to love.